A very good morning, ma. Oh, this is your video lecture on stator side speed control of induction motor part 2. In your previous part 1 class, I have been teaching you about stator side speed control, that is controlling by supply voltage and also by controlling the speed by frequency control till voltage source inverter fed induction motor control. So today we will see about current source fed induction motor control, and they changing the number of poles, stator poles, and also by adding the rheostat to the stator circuit. Okay, these are what we have seen in your previous classes. Today you will see about current source inverter. So what is this current source inverter? The current source inverter converts the input direct current into the alternating current. Okay, converts DC to AC. In the current source inverter, the input current remains constant. The current will remain constant, but the voltage can be variable. So that is what the nature of the current source inverter. So see, we have here two figures here, two block diagrams, so which will tell about the current source inverter. So in this second block diagram, so the DC supply is given to chopper, and here the chopper is frequency is varied with the help of pulse width modulation control. Okay, and that control to frequency is given to this current source inverter. Okay, and from that to the induction motor. So see here a thyristor current. So see, this is your inverter. So this is your CSI inverter. This is your current source inverter. Okay, the thyristor current source inverter, okay, is shown in the figure, which has thyristors as a switch. The diodes, we have a D1 to D6, and the capacitors C1 to C6 provides commutation of the thyristors. Okay, then which are fired with a phase difference of 60 degree. So the firing angle is given at the phase difference of 60 degree in the sequence of their numbers. It also shows the nature of the output current waveform. This is the nature of the output current waveform. The inverter acts as a current source because it has a large inductance in the DC link. So it has a large inductance in the DC link, and hence it acts as a current source inverter. Okay, the full fundamental component of the motor phase current is shown in the figure below. So this figure. Okay, so this is how the speed of the induction motor is controlled with the help of current source inverter. So next type of controlling the speed of the induction motor is by changing the number of poles in the stator side. So what is this poles? So you know the stator has poles, and because of that poles only the current is being induced in the rotor side. When you supply to the windings that are wound around the poles, there will be a induction in the EMF in your rotor side. So that with the help of concept called mutual induction principle. Okay, see, so because since Ns is equal to 120 F by P, so where the Fp is the number of poles, so when you change the number of poles, your speed can be changed because the speed is inversely, that is Ns is equal to 120 F by P. So if your speed increases the pole, when you increase the number of poles, your speed can be decreased. Okay, when you increase the number of poles in the stator side from the manufacturing part side itself, because it cannot be done from the externally, it has to be done from the manufacturing side itself. Okay, so the pole changing method is one of the main method of speed control of induction motor. This method of controlling the speed by pole changing is used mainly for squirrel cage induction motors only, because the cage motors or automatically develops the number of poles which is equal to poles of the stator winding. Okay, that can be done only with the squirrel cage. not in the slip ring induction motors. The number of stator poles can be changed by the three methods. They are multiple stator windings method of consequent poles and pole amplitude modulation methods. Okay. So, for example, see, a stator is wound with two three-phase windings, one for four poles and other for three poles. Okay, so if we have four pole, so see this 120 into F is frequency 50 divided by 4. Your speed is 1500 RPM. So if we have 6 poles, so 120 into F is 50 and you have 6 poles divided by 6, your speed is 1000 RPM. So when you increase your pole, your speed is decreased so that it can be controlled. So by increasing the number of stator poles, the speed of the induction motor can be controlled or varied. Okay, this is the one of the best method of changing the speed and can be applied only for cage induction motor, squirrel cage induction motor. So next type of varying the speed is that adding its external resistance. So see here, this is how the resistance can be added to externally. So when this is your supply, okay, and before giving the supply to the induction motor, resistors are connected in each phase. Okay, so by varying this resistance value, okay, the voltage given to the induction motor can be varied, and therefore the speed of the induction motor can be controlled. So this is some of the conventional method in controlling the speed of the induction motor. Okay, so these are the some methods of 4 methods of controlling the speed of the induction motor. Okay, Papa. So that has been performed. Okay, so finally we have derived 4 types of varying the speed of the induction motor. So what are they? So the speed of the induction motor can be varied by varying the supply voltage. That is, we have a back-to-back thyristor connected to each phase of the induction motor, and by varying the firing angle of the thyristor, the voltage of the induction motor can be varied. The next one is your frequency control. So here we use 3 types of inverters called voltage source inverters, current source inverters, or cycloconverters. So by varying the frequency of these by varying the frequency of the input given to the inverters with the help of some pulse width modulation controller, the frequency of the induction motor can be varied. So next one is you are changing the number of poles. So since Ns is equal to 120 F by P, if we vary the poles, the speed of the induction motor can be varied, and this is applicable only for the cage induction motors. The next one is you are adding rheostat in the stator circuit. So before the supply voltage is given to each phase of the induction motor, each phase of the induction motor is connected with the rheostat. Okay, so by varying that rheostat value, the voltage of the supply can be varied, and therefore the induction motor speed can be controlled. Okay, so these are some techniques in speed control of induction motor from the stator side. So thank you, ma. We'll see in the next class. So be attentive in class and maintain notes. Thank you so much.